Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Podcast Room 303. Introducing one co-host with more nuggets than Chick-fil-A, Nick Morahan. Executive producer until we find someone better, Eric Washington. Nobody really knows what he does around here, Nevada Putnam. And now, the single greatest thing to happen to hosting in history, Jermaine Antonio Colon Mendez. On with the show. And welcome into Podcast Room 303. I'm your host, Jermaine Colon Mendez. This is my co-host. And as always, we have with us the executive producers, the EPE, and Nevada Putnam. How are you doing this evening, Nevada?
I'm doing well. It's nice to have football back, where it kind of feels like extended preseason. I don't know if you guys kind of get the same sentiment, but football's back. The weather's starting to cool down. Can't complain. Happy to be here.
And how are you doing this evening, Eric?
Doing good, man. It's along the same lines as Nevada. It's weather's hoodie season is the best season, and football's back and getting into the NBA playoff or NBA starting here soon, and MLB, so it's playoffs, so it's a good
time. Summer dress season.
Hoodie season.
Far superior to hoodie season.
Hoodie season, bro.
Far superior.
The less clothes you can wear, the better.
Yeah, thank you, Nevada. Naked is better than clothed.
I don't disagree with that statement. I just, if I had to put clothes on, I'd want it to be comfortable, warm, fuzzy clothes, like a hoodie.
Bro, you wear sweats in the summer.
You trying to cut weight or something? You got a hoodie on now.
Constantly cutting weight, dude.
Damn.
If I wear the hoodies and the sweat bags and stuff, I can eat whatever I want. I just stay where I'm at. No gain, no loss.
That's how he plateaus. Today's episode, we'll get into Nick's Time Suck Parlay. We'll review head-to-head from last week. Pop Culture Pick'em is top 5 movie deaths. And we'll skip a blind 5 this week, and we'll move into the NFL Week 2 and NFL Week 3. And let's just get right into the Time Suck Parlay. Eric took Tennessee -7 at -115. He's a big UT fan. I took Barcelona money line at -140 tomorrow in the Champions League, so we'll know real quick if this parlay is even got a leg to stand on or not. And Nevada went with his customary NASCAR bet, Bass Pro Shops night race, winning manufacturer Toyota +110 for a total of +573.
Woo! How you gonna do that, bro?
Because, bro, you split multiple colleges. And I will never, ever get over that. You cannot pick multiple different sports for multiple different colleges.
I don't.
So I'm going to mess with you every time I can. What do you mean you don't? What do you mean you don't?
No, I'm saying we don't refer to Tennessee as UT, bro.
You do.
No, nobody does.
You do.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, you big UT fan.
Always with the propaganda.
Well, while I filibuster, you can go ahead and get that screen ready to share.
Got it right here.
Yeah, I heard Eric singing Rocky Top pre-show. I don't know what that was all about. But
that's why he's a big Peyton Manning fan, dude.
I'm playing the Eyes of Texas right now. Where's my phone?
You don't even
lucky I can't find my phone.
You don't even know how to spell it. It's right there, dude.
All right. So moving into the head-to-head this week, last week was week 37. Pretty decent week. Jermaine went 1-2, hit on a nice little mixed parlay, little UFC, NFL, college football, plus 684 on that one, dude. That was nice.
Yeah, that was the one I was confident in. The other ones I just shit in a win and put it in a bag.
So that puts him at 26-85, down 20.3 units. Nick also went 1-2. He hit on the Monday night game, putting him at 14.96-1. Down 46.31 units. Nevada went 2-1. He hit on racing and a little NFL parlay. Both those field goals, man, 53 and 51, I think, were the longs. Cleared those nice. Putting him at 36-75 on the season, down 18.26 units. I went 0-3. I bet baseball again. I don't know why I keep doing that. And then I missed on a 909 parlay because Georgia couldn't cover minus 24 and won by what? What was it? One?
Oh, it was real close like that. I think they scored at the end.
Oh, okay. It wasn't 24.
It wasn't close.
And
it wasn't even close.
I also had a soccer parlay that also missed by one bet. Liverpool lost to Nottingham Forest, so I'm 31-80 on the season, up 7.58 units.
You remember when I said one favorite always falls, and I got pushed back?
Eric just got to throw in there. I would have won, except for just this one little thing.
It was the SEC thing. And it was just rolling, dude. It was just hitting. Everything was just boom, boom, boom. And then the last two games was Georgia and Mississippi State. Number one team in the nation, playing God knows who.
Kentucky.
Never mind.
Kentucky's been good the last few years.
Yeah.
They're a prick in the SEC.
Yeah, they play tough. It's just those soccer parlays, man. It should happen. Those favorites should handle business every single time.
Nottingham Forest,
I'm not disagreeing. I'm betting Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest 10 out of 10 times. I'm just letting you know when you put a parlay like that together, it never works out. You got to pick a dog from one of those favorites. It just so happens. It just always happens, man. It's pretty crazy, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and get into never done this show before. What's next? Pop culture pick'em. Top 5 movie deaths.
All right. So pop culture pick'em this week. Top 5 movie deaths. Man, having the first pick is.
Oh, so the order is Eric Nevada.
Yeah, sorry about that, fellas. I was just about to say having the first pick is hard, especially for this one. But fuck, dude. I'm gonna go with Return of the Jedi when Luke kills Darth.
That's a celebratory moment, though.
Oh
yeah, this is just movie deaths. Okay,
yeah.
Got it.
I was like, wait.
Yeah, we like Darth Vader now,
yeah,
because we know the rest of the story. But when that happened, it was all cheers, and someone probably set off a flare.
Yeah,
I approach this as like a celebrated death, just like shocking, cool, just everything.
Got it.
What you better?
I'm going to go with when Hans Gruber falls off of Nakatomi Tower on Die Hard.
I'm not going to try to spell that tower. I'm just going to put Hans Gruber.
Sound it out. Nakatomi.
I'll take Spider-Man in Infinity War.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to take I'll take Captain Queenan in The Departed.
Yeah. Damn.
Is that Mark's?
No. It's the homie that gets thrown off the building.
What's it? How do you spell his last name?
It's Queen A.N.
Queenan, The Departed.
It's he's one of the he's married to.
I know who gets thrown off the roof. I just
Martin Sheen. Martin Sheen.
Charlie Sheen and maybe the rest of us is dead.
Yeah, there you go. I was trying to remember. But yeah, when he died, that was a fucking bummer because as the audience, we know all the pieces and we're like, come on, figure it out. And then homie gets got. Well, actually, we didn't know all the pieces, but still, you should have figured it out, you dumb fucks.
Yeah.
You're cops. Come on now. Be better.
Well,
sorry, go ahead, Nevada.
Next one isn't necessarily a specific person, but more of a scene, and that's the pub scene in Inglourious Bastards, where they're all meeting up with the German contact, the three of them, and
they use the wrong finger.
Yeah,
the wrong fingers for number 3.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like these.
Yeah.
Yep. If you're a communist.
German, right? This is commies. This is freedom. All right. I'm gonna go.
I go like this. Just kidding. just to be contrary, I actually go like this.
I'm just kidding. William Wallace.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Got his head cut off for freedom.
Deserved it.
And then, as the great Ari Gold would say, anybody who puts Gwen's head in a box is good in my book. I'm going to go with 7.
God, I had that one too.
Uh-oh.
Not the same scene, but same movie.
Nevada.
All the deaths in that movie.
Dude, that movie.
Control, so.
I remember watching that movie as a kid and just walking away like, fuck, that was fucked up, dude. I was like, this is why they have ratings on movies. Because I remember that was one of the movies that I saw. I just saw Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, and I didn't understand what the film was about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I slapped that bad boy on. I was like 10, and I'm sitting there. First of all, it's an engrossing fucking film because it's shot fantastically. Yep. Everyone acts terrifically. So I'm sitting there as a kid, and it just keeps building, and I'm like, we got to find this guy.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's underrated, but I think on a large portion of general public, I think it's definitely overlooked.
It's hard to watch.
I just don't think a lot of people have seen it. Kind of like how it is hard to watch, but I don't think a lot of people have seen it.
The one that was really hard was the gluttony guy. No.
That was peak cinema, dude.
The one that makes me squirm is the Lust.
Oh yeah,
that one was that one got pretty rough. For my next pick, I am going to go with Obi-Wan's death in the original trilogy. Right there as he's looking at Luke and before they take off.
I don't even remember which one he died in. He died in the same one as Darth, right?
No. Darth was in the
Return of
third.
the...
Yeah. He was in the first one. Not New Hope. Is that New Hope?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention. What were you asking?
The first ever Star Wars is A New Hope.
It is A New Hope, episode 4. Yeah.
Because then it's Revenge of the Sith. Is that right?
Yeah.
Or does that not sound right? Yeah. And then The Last Jedi is the third one.
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith is number 3. So it's Phantom Menace, Clone Wars, Revenge of the Sith, New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and then
Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, but we don't talk about those last movies.
No. And then Rogue One's just floating out there somewhere in the midst of all of it.
Rogue One is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna go PK Highsmith and Christopher Danson. Do you know who they are, Nevada?
It doesn't ring a bell. Wait. Hang on. Highsmith. Yes. Aim for the bushes. Aim for the bushes.
So I couldn't believe they got here, bro. So I'll take the other guys off the table here. I have a ton of other choices, but I'm gonna go with like 2 movies that have made me actually cry. So I'm gonna go with Hillary from Beaches.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Leo's Beaches?
What?
Leo's Beaches?
Leo's Beaches.
Like Leo's in it?
No.
Oh.
I don't. It was 1988. He could have been in it with Bette Midler.
I think Leo is in it. It's one of the first
movies. Back to me. I got quite a few as well, but I'm gonna go with which one's tougher? I'll go with the newer one. I'm gonna go with When the Dog Dies in Marley and Me.
Reminds me of the death of the dog in Hachi. You ever seen Hachi?
No. I've seen Turner and Hooch. That dog dies in Turner and Hooch.
Hachi, A Dog's Tale with Richard Gere, based on a true story.
Oh, jeez.
8.1 of 10. It's Fuck that movie. It should be on this list, but I refuse to give it. I'm not crying.
I know.
On the back-to-back here, I'm going to go with two that got me. I'm going to start with Lord of the Rings, Boromir.
Yeah, that's on my list.
Or Sean Bean, for those that don't know which character that was. And then to close this out,
We all know Lord of the Rings.
You know, I wasn't going to put this one, but I'm going to go Bruce Willis's character in Armageddon.
Okay.
Bro, he hit the okie doke or all Ben from Boston, dude. He wasn't ready, dude.
I'm gonna finish it off. Not necessarily a sad death, but just one that the scene itself is just disgusting. But the scene, you guys have probably seen it. The scene in Hereditary where the mom is floating up there and she ends up sawing off her own head. That was kind of a little 5-second shock of a scene right there.
I don't know if I've seen Hereditary. It sounds familiar, and I could see the poster in my mind, but I'm not drawing a blank on the specifics.
It was the one with the movie where that kid sticks their head out the car and hits the pole and lops off the head.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
I
might not have seen it, but I've seen the movie cover. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, all I gotta say is Toni Collette's the main character, so there you go.
And I'm doing A Walk to Remember. Jamie.
Oh,
fuck that movie.
I'm gonna put a honorable mention in here for Eric. I'm surprised he didn't take it, but when Aunt May dies in Spider-Man,
Marissa Tomei, dog.
Yeah, I feel like that. You probably walked out of the theater at that point.
I definitely went from midnight to 6 o'clock. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Honorable mentions. I have a couple, so I'm gonna go with Drew Barrymore in Scream, Maximus in Gladiator, Captain Mueller in Saving Private Ryan, and then Jack in the Titanic.
He was on mine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with. Oh man, I had a good one that just fell out of my brain. I'm going with Goose from Top Gun.
Solid.
Dr. Schultz from Django.
Solid.
I'm going from Charlie, All Dogs Go to Heaven. I'm going Bill Murray in Zombieland. I'm going Mufasa.
Yeah, nobody picked Mufasa.
Yeah.
And I'm going to Ellie from Up.
Oh, for doing cartoons, let me introduce Littlefoot's mom in The Land Before Time.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah, man.
I think that might have been the first movie I cried at.
So I had Russell Case from Independence Day.
Nice.
I had Apollo Creed, Killmonger, Dumbledore, Ricky Baker, and Aslan.
From Chronicles of Narnia?
Yeah, from Chronicles of Narnia. Yeah.
Man.
There's a lot of deaths, dude.
I know. Like, fuck me.
And we left off probably some really, really fucking good ones that I'm probably not thinking of right now.
Absolutely.
What's it called? Adam Sandler's character in Uncut Gems.
Oh, dude, that death was shocking as well.
I was like, he hit though.
I remember I was celebrating.
Yep.
I was like, it finally worked for Mans.
Mighty Joe from Mighty Joe Young. That one got me back in the day.
Yo, Mighty Joe Young, deep cut.
Yeah, buddy.
Free Willy never died, right? Yeah, I don't remember. Free Willy was a fire movie though. Why were we so obsessed with whales in the 90s? And specifically killer whales.
Before we knew they were violent fucking animals.
Kyle, nobody cares about stupid ass whales.
Pretty sure we knew they were violent for the
Yeah,
record.
they're called killer whales.
Yeah, I was like, we don't just kind of name them killer whales.
Did you guys see in Iceland that they have such a problem with boats being flipped over by whales that they made boats that flip back over on their own?
Oh, that's pretty smart.
It's pretty cool. What were you gonna say,
The can't remember the name, but the dog in I Am Legend.
Oh yeah, that was sad.
Ironically, all the deaths in Rogue One fit into that little pop culture pick'em we just did. And then, man, there was one that I had in my mind that I didn't write down. It popped in the last minute, but it was a fantastic choice. Oh well. That's it for pop culture pick'em. You read the list back already, Eric?
No, but I will real quick. So top 5 movie deaths. I had the first pick. I went Return of the Jedi. Or I'm just gonna go characters: Darth Vader, William Wallace, Gwyneth Paltrow in 7, Boromir, and Armageddon. Nevada had the second pick. He went Hans Gruber. The pub scene in Inglourious Bastards, Obi-Wan Kenobi, The Dog and Marley and Me, and the mom in Hereditary. Jermaine went Spider-Man in Infinity War, Captain Queen in The Departed. Don't remember their names, but The Rock and Sam Jackson's characters and the other guys. Hillary from Beaches and Jamie from A Walk to Remember.
I gave you the names.
I know, I just...
PK Highsmith and Charles Danson, dude.
All right.
Highsmith and Danson.
He put The Rock and Sam Jackson.
It's equally as good.
It gets the point across, but
Highsmith and Danson.
Would off that movie, would you guys watch or do a sequel for that? I haven't heard anything, but would you be in on that?
I would not do a sequel. I would do a prequel
with
The Rock and Sam Jackson, and then in the background, you just have both chuckle fucks going through the academy.
Well, you could. So remember, you could have them as cop. You could have Mark Wahlberg as a cop and have it pre the shooting
before he shot the
cat. Yeah.
I'm just saying, that's the way. If I was to make anything else with that movie, that's the way I'm going. I'm not doing Will Ferrell, and you're not going to recreate that magic. That movie that's what a lot of these comedies, when they hit, it's because a magic was caught. The sequels never hit the same.
Right.
Or we could go back even as far as when he was a pimp.
No, that's what you would do. It would be The Rock. It would be The Rock and Sam Jackson pursuing this prostitution ring
run by Gator.
And Gator is the one who runs it, and he gets out. You know what I mean? He gets out before, and nobody knows he's involved because they don't suspect him. It's almost like Kevin Spacey in The Usual Suspects, right? So it's the same kind of fucking shit. Will Ferrell just walks off at the end, and then you have some sort of side story with Mark Wahlberg that also he's helping some chick who's getting chased down by some thugs, and then they all intersected to one story, and then I don't know, I'm just spitballing here.
Or maybe Marky Mark goes undercover as a John for one of the girls that Gator has.
They could do it. Somebody over there could do it.
Dude, I'm just that you could make all those stories intersect, and then Will Ferrell walks away and then becomes a cop afterwards, bro.
Yep. I like it.
Let's go ahead and get into NFL Week 2. We'll do our customary surprises and disappointments. We didn't do that last week when Nick and I were filibustering because we actually had technical difficulties.
Yeah.
So we'll get into Week 2 here. So give us your main takeaways, Nevada, 1 to 3. You don't have to have 3 if you don't have them, but go
ahead. General overarching one I got for the NFL. I kind of mentioned it at the beginning, but it's really just the extension of preseason. You could make the argument that having these 3 preseason games now keep getting it shorter and shorter. You're kind of seeing the results. Some teams are firing on all cylinders. Some are taking a little bit of time to work out the kinks. And some teams are the Panthers. So
So it feels like we have been saying this every year, this preseason kind of thing that, now that everyone's getting rid of preseason, it feels like the first 4 weeks, it's just bad offensive football. Defenses usually dominate. I mean, the stat is 66 touchdowns have been scored in the first.
I think it's 69 now after Monday night.
Yeah. I mean, to not hit, that's not even 35 a week right now. That's crazy. To have 32 teams and we're barely at like a touchdown, a team for the week so far. It's pretty crazy.
They were saying that, 4 or 5 years ago, whatever it was up in the 80s or 90s through the first 2 weeks, which
it was 100 something when I
was it. Yeah. It was clearly much more offensively driven to start the year, but I think also in conjunction the preseason, that was also the heyday of Rivers, Roethlisberger's, Manning's, Brady.
It's a lot of bad quarterbacks right now.
Yeah, Aaron. So, but you put the two together and you get what we're looking at right now, which is
even the good quarterbacks are playing bad.
The other quick takeaway I'll take right now, just looking at the scores and all that, the unders are hitting. So with the exception of probably 4 games, maybe 5 games, just quick math, looking at the scores, unders are hitting. So keep that in mind. Other than that, it kind of seems like a regular season. Injuries are starting to pile up here and there, but
pile up they are.
Do you think it's because they're taking it so much easier in practice and preseason that people's bodies just aren't acclimated to getting hit like this?
I know
this one is more like, I know every year we always get caught up because we had the same conversation last year. And then you go look at the numbers, and last year's injury rate was pretty much the same. This one is way, way more, like way, way more. And it's happening to key guys.
Right. Well, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, would this not be the second year that we're doing 3 preseason games?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Second or third. So maybe now we're starting to see, teams be like, hey, what's the point of injuring a guy in one of our 3 games? Instead, now we're getting it here in week 1 or 2, where last year maybe there was still that mindset of we still got to play our guys 3 games, but now they're like, yeah, what's the point? So I think there's probably definitely something to it. If you dive deep into the numbers, it's probably not a whole lot different, but it does seem to be, I think the injuries we are seeing are being more significant as far as, how many people went on IR this week alone?
Yeah.
The entire Rams offense.
Entire Rams offense. I do know that this year is much more significant through 2 weeks than years prior. Just averages, quality of player as well. It's not like we're not losing wide receiver 4 for the Giants. You know what I mean? We're losing wide receiver 1 and 2s for both teams. We're losing RB1s. We're losing QB1s. We're losing quarterback 2s. We're losing, edge rusher 1. You know what I mean? We're losing big time guys. Like, a lot of money's hitting the IR. It's a violent sport, so I'm not like going to get too caught up with it, but I do kind of think that the de-emphasis on preseason and training camp is kind of leading to a nastier kind of point, but I'm not sure. We'll have somebody who does like a 10-year thesis ever since but we won't know for almost a decade. Eric, you got any takeaways?
Just some quick ones. So, if you're looking at, DraftKings and or any of these sports books, we're going to see it. I think we'll see a decrease in these lines, but, they're being disrespectful to a couple teams. Like, I'm taking New England. I know they lost
tomorrow against the Jets. You're taking New England?
I'm taking them +6.
Yeah, I think that's a good bet.
Yeah, no matter for right now, if New England has anything over like a 4.5 spread, I'm just gonna take it. Like, I'm not saying it's gonna be the best bet, but they're being disrespected by the bookies, and they're playing I actually watched a little bit of that game. What's your coach's name? The ex Mayo?
Gerard
Mayo. He's coaching them boys up, man, and they're running the ball. And I don't know. I just think anytime you see New England with a crazy spread, anything over like 4 or 5 points, I say ride the spread, like ride the plus points because they're playing lights out. And then also another takeaway for me, I watched a little bit of it, is the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh, like we were all saying, like, where is their offense going to come from? Blah, blah, blah. They look just fine.
I mean, they played bad football teams.
They have. But,
they played the Raiders.
Yeah.
And they played the Carolina Panthers. And it's purely running the football, which we always said was what Jim Harbaugh was coming in to do, which is why everyone was down on Justin Herbert and Quentin Johnson and Josh Palmer. And we knew they will run the football. I want to see, this is a good point that you brought it up after week 2, because they played Pittsburgh this weekend.
We'll see what they really look
and
like.
Pittsburgh is a legitimate fucking.
Absolutely. And then since you brought it up, it was going to be my third point. Don't sleep on Las Vegas. Gardner Minshew's a dog. That defense is crazy. They still have arguably one of the best wide receivers in football. Brock Powers just looks like, I don't know, he just stepped in and he got 10 receptions back-to-back weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
Fun fact.
What?
Who leads the NFL in completion percentage?
Probably Gardner Minshew. Yeah. So
Justin Fields is at 70%, by the way.
Because he throws 9 times a game.
So Justin Fields is 2-0, playing winning football, 70% completion percentage. So was it him?
No,
because the Bears and Caleb Williams, they look real bad. Caleb Williams looks terrible.
Yeah, he does.
His footwork looks terrible. He looks skittish in the pocket. He is not hitting on-time throws. His tackles were supposed to be pretty good. So I don't know what's up with this offensive line, but I have not liked what I've seen from Caleb Williams, and I have been defending Caleb Williams for 2 years. I'm not thrilled. It's 2 games. I'm not out. I'm still planting the flag with the boy, but you can't like what you've seen from a footwork perspective. I never saw him play like that in college, but in college he was always doing off-platform throws, and I'm starting to wonder if I ever saw him really play pocket. His pocket footwork, at the end of the season, that's one thing I'm telling him to go get a coach, go get a Drew Brees, go get one of these throwing coaches and just work on your footwork, because this footwork is what we saw from Baker Mayfield in his year 2 after he broke all those rookie records. This is the similar footwork where you're going to see off-target throws and he's going to sail past wide receivers.
Yeah.
I'm concerned. But sorry, go ahead, Nevada.
Yeah, Caleb is trying to – well, he's not trying. He is reverting to his college days, and he's quickly finding out and showing to everybody you cannot get away with that in the NFL. They will eat you alive if you have one area of weakness. That's one thing, but when you have a couple where it's like, oh fuck, but this is what I did in college.
He'll figure it out. He'll figure it out, though.
I agree. I don't doubt that he'll figure it out, but for the time being, he's got to try to figure it out on the fly, because otherwise it's going to be a long season for him.
Yeah. So, and then to bring up to Nevada's point from earlier, and Jermaine touched on it as well, but with week 1 and 2 for me now, what I really took away from it this year, I didn't pay attention to it last year, is without the preseason and without those people coming into game 1, like, okay, we had a full 4-week preseason. The guys played week 3, sat week 4, like the traditional style. Week 1 is a preseason game for a lot of these guys. And don't trust the spreads. Don't trust any of that shit. And then now we're starting to see, obviously every football season like this, we'll start to see the people separate themselves who are actually good and bad and stuff. But week 1 and 2 are just toss-ups to me. I looked at the spreads for this week, and I'm a lot more confident. And just, you have a little more, you've seen them. You've seen the product that they're going to put out for the most part, minus some of the injuries. But week 1 and 2 are crazy to bet, because like some of these lines, like I was like, yeah, that's gonna hit.
Dogs and unders.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It's just crazy how changing that one thing, taking away one preseason game, can affect the product so early on so bad. Like, I mean, not a single Eagles player. I only know this because I'm an Eagles fan, but not a single Eagles player starter from the 11-man roster on offense played a snap in preseason. Week 1 against the Packers on that slippery field was the first time those guys lined up in a.
And you dropped 34 on a.
Yeah, we
Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, I'm not. That's not what I'm here doing complaining. I'm just saying.
No, it's so funny how now it's the sky is falling because Saquon Barkley couldn't catch the football.
That's not the energy I was giving off. I do feel like that's
not you. I'm talking about the world. I'm talking about the world.
Yeah.
The sky is falling. Nick Sirianni, fire him, chance again. The man has them in every single football game. And if Saquon Barkley, the $13 million running back, takes that 3rd and 3 with the perfect throw, Jalen Hurts steps out, puts it in front of him to the shoulder to turn upfield, get a first down, end the game. If he makes that catch, it's a completely different story. It's a 2-0 football team. And then they're probably talking about the Philadelphia Eagles are the favorite in the NFC. So, overreactions. That's my main takeaway. It's just like, Jesus Christ, bro. They lost to the widely considered to win the NFC South, get a playoff berth, and contend in the NFC, Atlanta Falcons. The pendulum swings too quickly. In the NFL, call it any given fucking Sunday for a reason. Let's remember that. Let's not overreact. They still almost won that football game. And they were a drop away, a key drop. Everyone's going to question the play call. They're going to question the coach. No, dude, that is on one person. That game is on one person. It's not the play call. Yes, he could have run the football. You know it now. Saquon Barkley open in the flat by himself, the perfectly thrown football. You don't think he ever drops that ball. Ever.
It's not just on him, though. The defense had 5, 6, 7 opportunities to stop them on the way down the other way. So
Saquon shouldn't have dropped that football.
He should not have
13 million.
Put it all on him because we also left 6 points on the board by not kicking field goals. So there was a lot that went wrong. But it was still a 1-point loss to a Super Bowl hopeful. So whatever. All
right, so 2 takeaways for me, since that way we can get into week 2. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and Bo Nix have the same amount of touchdown passes as J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix, and Drake May. I know that for some reason, every other rookie, we come in and say, hey, it's going to take them some time to get used to the NFL. Let them get up to speed, learn the playbook. Your wide receivers aren't going to go out here and just average 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Okay, maybe Marvin Harrison Jr. is different, but usually you don't expect rookies to produce. Why is it that with quarterbacks maybe it's super ultra heightened now because CJ Stroud just did what he did? But we're usually saying rookie quarterbacks will struggle. It's a different speed. It's a different game. You have to be able to take snaps from under center. You have to be able to do play action. You have to be able to do bootleg. You have to know protection assignments with your offensive line. You have to know where your hot route is. If you have motion before the play, you have to read the defense and understand, oh, this linebacker moved with XYZ. They're in man. Oh, this linebacker group shifted together. They're in zone. These are all things the quarterback has to do. So let's pump the brakes. It's not the end of the world. Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, relax. They will throw touchdown passes. Bryce Young hopefully throws touchdown passes again. We won't know. So that's my first takeaway. My next takeaway is these are the current division leaders. And you tell me 1 through 8, your number on how many you were like, oh yeah, that's who I expected to lead the division through 2 weeks. All right. So Buffalo, 2-0. Pittsburgh, 2-0. Houston, 2-0. Chargers, 2-0. Washington Commanders, 1-1.
Isn't KC 2-0?
Yeah, but
tiebreaker.
Chargers beat the Raiders. So I'm going based on tiebreakers. So these are currently who sit at the top of the standings. I know they've only played 2 games and most everyone's like has the same record and shit. We're just going division leaders right now. Commanders, 1-1. Minnesota, 2-0. New Orleans, 2-0. Seattle, 2-0.
Honestly, probably one.
Houston.
Yeah.
That's the only one I would have thought.
Yeah.
So it's a coin flip league, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not surprised by Pittsburgh, though. I will say that. Like, it's not shocking at all.
Baltimore and Cincinnati not having the division lead.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
It's surprising. It's surprising.
It's not what I expected, but I'm also not surprised by it. I'm surprised by a couple of the other ones.
All right. Because, like, even Cleveland, I would have been like...
Cleveland to win the division.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, even Cleveland, we thought would be...
I'm not even participating in that shit next year. I already, week 2, I already looked at it. I'm like, everybody I picked to win MVP or something, broken. I'm just like, oh my God, dude. I picked the Packers to go to the NFC Championship. Jordan Love to win the MVP. Jordan Love goes down week 1. Packers are still 2-0 to us. Oh, no, sorry, 1-1. We beat them. But, yeah, it's all bad.
I just went on a whole rant about not overreacting in your second year. Season's over, boys.
Real quick, while we're talking about
oh, sorry, go ahead.
The AFC North, a tangent off that. Of these, let's do 3 teams. Which one is in most dire straits at 0-2? The Bengals, the Ravens, or the Rams?
Oh, that's an easy.
So the Rams because of the injury.
It's the Rams, bro. Like,
but
they got me, you, and Eric lining up at wideout.
Of the 3 teams, I think the Ravens should be the most worried.
Most worried?
Yeah, about what they're putting out on the field right now.
Oh, I don't know about that. I would still say
defense looks weaker. Offensive line looks weaker.
Offensive line looks terrible.
So I'm just saying, from what we've seen 2 weeks, the Rams for sure with the 87 injuries. I think they have a whole new 52-man roster out there with fucking Stafford. And then for me personally, I think the Ravens really need to, I don't know, change something. It's all bad to me.
I think it's the Bengals, bro. They're 1-9 in their first 2 weeks, the last 5 years with Joe Burrow. T. Higgins, who knows when he comes back from the thing. Jamar Chase threw a fit on the field for no reason and got a flag that ruined the game for them before the pass interference. They held the Chiefs to 100 and Patrick Mahomes to 151 yards passing. They held them to 300 total yards of offense. They won the turnover battle 3-1 and still lost the football game. They look awful without Joe Mixon at running back. And the contrary can be said to the Houston Texans, who look fantastic because Joe Mixon is at running back. Basically, all the teams who invested in running back look fantastic. Like,
when they catch the ball.
Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Joe Mixon, like Aaron Jones looks good for Minnesota. Devin Singletary just went off for the Giants. I know Graham Gano had that hammy and they couldn't kick extra points. What a way to lose a football game, by the way. But it's like, offense is down. They're running the football more. They're taking the ball out of quarterbacks' hands because we don't trust these quarterbacks anymore. We're getting back to running backs having this crazy value. And this is one thing that I said in the offseason. I was like, look, this class is going to help restore contractual value to the running back position. Alvin Kamara.
He turned into
fuck.
2017 Alvin Kamara.
You turned into Jamal Charles, dude.
You cannot stop Alvin Kamara right now. It is unbelievable how good at football he looks.
I will say, sorry, Jermaine, the Ravens can fix their issues if they would quit with their idiotic fourth quarter play calling. Do you know how many times King Henry was given the ball in the fourth quarter with the lead last week?
Oh, dude, tell me it's 0.
1.
You had a 10-point lead?
He was given the ball 1 time in the fourth quarter with the lead.
All right, Eric, you might be right. There's been bad vibes in Cincinnati all offseason, and then it's on the field again. But Eric, you may be right. Yeah. If they're gonna sign, I just went on this whole running back rant. You have a 10-point lead. You just paid King Henry, notorious game icer. You have a lead with Derrick Henry. You run the football. You win the game.
It's the easiest fix, and he is the best fourth quarter weapon because we've seen it for, was he now 8-9 years in the league? When is he at his best? The fourth freaking quarter.
After he's worn that defense out, after he's got in their asshole, they don't want to tackle him anymore. That's what Derrick Henry dominates. That is crazy. To only give him one time. All right. So that's one thing that's not talked about with Baltimore. They had the coaching exodus. They had the offensive line exodus. They lost 3 starters on the offensive line. Their defense had a ton of turnover, but that's a well-coached football team. Someone was talking about John Harbaugh. What Jim is the Chargers and John is Baltimore.
Yeah.
That John Harbaugh's on the hot seat. I'm like, relax. Relax.
He had been. Yeah, so is Mike Tomlin. Okay, sure.
Yeah, I was like, he was just in the AFC Championship game. The fucking mean. Like, oh, dude. Anyways, let's go ahead and get to this Thursday night matchup. The New England Patriots are traveling to the New York Jets, who play out of New Jersey. Weirdly named. Jets are -6. The over-under is 38.5, and Patriots on the line is plus 225. Nevada, any thoughts?
I won't consider it a Nick Nugget because I didn't get it from him, but we'll throw it in there as one. In the last 14 games in prime time, the Jets are 1-13.
Granted, Jet 1-13 in prime time?
Different quarterback this go around, but not saying we've really seen Aaron be Aaron this year so far. But yes, in the last 14 games, the Jets in prime time, 1-13 straight up.
Aaron Rodgers this year from snap to throw is 2.34 seconds. Homie is not even letting shit develop. He'll get better. He will get better. He'll go back to more of his, probably career average of like 2.75. And Garrett Wilson will get better, and the team will get better. The dude is still skittish because he tore his but that's a terrible statistic.
How many times in Green Bay did we see these kind of starts and we're like, oh, is that the downfall of Aaron? And then come week 5 or 6, and then he's just like, oh yeah, I'm an MVP.
How many times has he told everyone to relax?
Yep.
Homie's played 8 quarters of football in the last like 300 and like it's like 600 days or some crazy statistic like that. But you didn't even play in preseason. We just went on the whole preseason rant. Yep. With that being said, though, I'm with Eric. Give me that +6 for the Patriots.
Yep, absolutely.
I want nothing to do with this over-under. I think the over hits in this game, but it's a Thursday night football game, which makes me think you should bet the under. But I'll take Patriots +6.
I took the under at 38.5 too.
It's Thursday night football. It's a good bet,
and it's the Jets and Patriots.
I just think both these defenses are not as good as everyone thinks they are.
And Aaron Rodgers is washed.
The Jets, Jermaine Johnson just tore his Achilles, and Hassan Reddick is still not paid. Yep. So they got me lining up at all edge rushing positions. High motor, but you know what I'm saying? I'm on a 1-year contract for a reason.
I was a year early, but is it Will McDonald? Will McDonald IV for the Jets. I had as defensive rookie of the year last year. Got 3 sacks last week.
He's the last man standing, bro.
Well, he's almost got a sack quarterback.
He's got it, dude. Let's get into the next game. Denver Broncos travel into Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is -6.5 on the spread. Over-under is 40. Broncos are +240 on the line. The Baker Mayfield revenge tour continues. I don't like this spread, though, man. Broncos can't score the ball. Just give me under 40. And I'm abstaining from the spread.
Yeah, I'm going with the Tampa spread and over 40.
You're going over 40?
Yeah.
Tampa's going to drop 40 on you guys? Bo Nix ain't throwing a touchdown. You guys can't run the football. How we getting to 40?
Bo Nix can run the football. He's leading rusher on the whole damn team.
That's
I think
an
Bo,
indictment on everyone else, not a boom to
I think Bo will get a passing touchdown. But I don't know how we get to like 20 points tops, but I think Tampa can. They're going to wear you down. I mean, Mike Evans is Mike Evans.
So 30-13 is what you're looking at, final score?
Yeah, something like that. Sure, why not?
Take the under 40. Very next matchup, we have the New York Football Giants traveling into Cleveland Browns. Cleveland is -6.5 on the spread. Over-under is 38.5, and the Giants are plus 240 on the line. Give me Giants plus 6.5, under 38.5. Yeah, I'm fading the Browns until they show me they can score 20 points.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jermaine. I think the Giants defense, unfortunately, has to carry their team until they can figure out their quarterback stuff. But it was nice to see Malik Neighbors take off last week, though.
Yeah, him and Marvin Harrison. Brian Thomas looks pretty fantastic. I saw a stat or heard a stat. Xavier Worthy is getting like 15% of the first read looks from Patrick Mahomes. So a lot of these rookie wide receivers are putting up some numbers. Not Keon Coleman. Unfortunately, the concerns we had with him coming out of the draft, he put up a 0 burger. But Miami was down 20 points in like the blink of an eye last week. So I don't really know how to take that.
I'm blowing it all up again. Everybody's up for sale.
The Philadelphia Eagles travel into New Orleans to take on the Saints. The Saints are -2.5 on the spread. The over-under is 49.5, and Philadelphia is plus 124 on the line. Look, man, New Orleans, fucking what a fun season this is gonna be. I'm just along for the ride. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Give me the over 49.5 in this game.
I'm going to abstain from this one. Eric, this is your team, your guys' matchup. Let's hear it.
So real quick for you, did you want any action on that Giants-Browns? I didn't get a specific bet. So
I thought you said the same as me.
You want the exact same thing, the 6.5 for the plus 6.5 for the Giants and the under 38?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Just wanted to make sure before I put it in.
I was like, damn, I moved before I even asked you. I was like, I was pretty sure you said the same.
And I heard that, but I wasn't like,
got it.
I wasn't sure if that's meant like put the exact same bets in. Man, I'm conflicted. So me personally, with all bias, I'm taking Philly plus 2.5 and Philly money line. And I'm also taking the over 49.5. Now, with that being said, to our 303 listeners, do not bet Philly plus 2.5. Do not bet Philly money line. Bet the over for sure. New Orleans probably will get that by themselves. And then the over for sure, I would say that. Look, New Orleans is hosting in the Dome.
Game of the week. This has game of the week written. It has the game of the week written all over it.
So, like I said, you know what? I'm taking plus 2.5 for Philly, and I'm taking Philly money line.
As you should.
But the realistic expectation for our listeners is only take the over because I think that is probably like a 97% chance to hit.
Look, home field advantage is worth 3 points, and the Saints don't even get to 3-point spread here. So, you know what I mean? Like, it should tell you how much closer this game is than, you know.
To be honest with listeners, I don't know how we're going to stop Alvin Kamara.
I don't know either.
So
that's why the over is the for sure play.
I would do the over for sure. And if you're feeling there's no juice at -148, I would say it doesn't hurt to take Saints -2.5. Look, they're at home.
If you're scared, don't take Philly. But if you got cojones, then take Philly. That's as simple how it is.
So Eric, as you said, not sure, can't stop Kamara until you can stop him. I'm gonna go with a touchdown parlay of Kamara 2+ tutties.
Okay.
And Saquon anytime at plus 470.
So it's funny that you said that because in mine, I actually do have the Alvin Kamara 2+ touchdowns. I don't have the Saquon one, but I am going to add Saquon anytime touchdown because he has to make up for what he did on El Noche de Lunes, Monday Night Football.
All right. With that being said, we're now traveling with the Los Angeles Chargers into Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is -1.5 on the line. Over/under is set for 36. Chargers are even money on the line. I said on the line both times. Pittsburgh is -1.5 on the spread, not the line. Bro, it's 36 points, and I still want the under.
I didn't. I took Pittsburgh money line and Pittsburgh -1.5 on that one.
I am pretty confident that this would be a Knicks Nuggie. Got a West Coast team flying to the East Coast for an early game, and we fade the West Coast team.
That didn't work last week.
What's-
Chargers against Panthers.
Well, it has to be against an NFL team.
Yeah, I want the under, and I want Pittsburgh -1.5. If I could find a bet that's like over rushing attempts, both teams combined, over 60 is what I'm looking at.
Dude, it might not be a bad one to try to find. I don't know if they have attempts, but they definitely got yards.
Yeah, I mean, just hammer all the like team yards, like yeah.
They don't have attempts.
Yeah, this game is just they're gonna take the air out of the football.
If this is like a classic, not quite, but kind of has some resemblance of classic AFC North football, where it's ugly, defensive driven. 6 points, 12 points here, and that's it. Yeah, I agree, Jermaine. That 36 is low, but it doesn't seem low enough. Man, I'm just gonna stay away. That's just gonna be a slobber knocker of a game.
If you like old school 80s, 90s defensive football, go ahead and throw that bad boy on and get real nostalgic with it. Let's travel to the next game. Houston Texans taking on the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. Minnesota are +2 on the spread. The over-under is 46, and Minnesota is +114 on the line. Does Sam Darnold turn into a pumpkin?
No.
Is Carolina the problem, since now Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold are torching the league everywhere else and they're MVP candidates? Yeah, so probably Carolina is the problem. I don't know, man. I think I trust Kevin O'Connell. I think he's a damn good football coach. Houston's defense is good. Justin Jefferson exists. Jordan Addison might be back for this game. I'll take Minnesota money line, man.
Damn. Yep, that's what I was thinking too.
And I kind of want to take the over 46. I think Sam Darnold and CJ Stroud might have one of those classic shoot 'em out games that you aren't expecting. I could see a 26-23 ball game easily out of these two teams.
Over 46, you said?
Yeah, let me take the over 46.
All right. I'm taking Minnesota +2. I'm not settled on money line for them. Houston is a really good team, leading their division right now. But like I said, for the New England Patriots, they're being disrespected. Minnesota, not so much anymore after they beat the 49ers.
Back-to-back years, they beat them.
Yeah. Back-to-back years, they beat them. They've been dogs in both week 1 and week 2. They're at home. They're still 2-point dogs. And to hear Brock Purdy run out into the huddle or into the player get together after the game and just yell at Brian Flores and be like, your scheme is out of control. You just love to hear that. You're like, fuck, let's see what he throws at CJ Stroud. And we know he failed that Wonderlic test, so.
Yeah, because that matters. Nevada, you chose for this one, right?
Yeah, I was right in the Minnesota money line as well.
All right, awesome. Green Bay travels into Tennessee. Tennessee is -2 on the spread. The over-under is 38, and the line is +105. I really, really hope they hold Jordan Love one last game, because I would love to see Malik Willis versus the Tennessee Titans. With that said, I think Tennessee has to win this football game. I think they have to win this football game. I want to abstain, and I'm going to abstain because I don't know who's starting at quarterback for the Packers. If Jordan Love plays, Packers +2, +105, it just feels free.
That'll shoot up too.
If Malik Willis plays, this Tennessee defense is pretty underrated right now. Just like Green Bay is underrated. I think both these teams want to run the football. So the under looks awesome, but I'm abstaining all over.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jermaine. The Jordan Love, you got to give him another week. Not only for the Malik Willis effect, but you don't want to rush your guy back in week 3 and have this linger through the entire year. We're in week 3. You cannot win or lose the division in the first 3 weeks, unless you're the Chiefs and Broncos. But I digress. I am going to take a parlay anytime touchdown parlay. I'm going to go Josh Jacobs and Calvin Ridley plus 550. Let's see. And let me go back to the game. 38 plus 2. I'll go with the Packers money line.
+105. I mean, it's a good bet.
Yeah.
Very next game. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't think so far he hasn't shown it, but Will Levis is, I mean, it's week by week. It's like, what's the worst terrible interception you can throw? Like, come on, bud.
Fool me once, fool me twice. I think he's got it now. That's where I'm at. Maybe I'm an idiot for thinking that, but I think the coach calling him out twice publicly, he's kind of like, okay, I can't be doing that shit anymore. It's okay. I just wish people understood it's okay to get sacked. Like, it's okay. The other thing is like, if you don't want to get sacked, they've designed the rules so you can just chuck that bitch out of bounds as long as you're out of the tackle box.
Yeah.
So chuck that bitch out of bounds, big fella. You got an arm for a reason.
Yep. Just heave it. Just a hard left and just heave it. You'll be fine.
Just get it out. Like anyways. Chicago Bears travel into Indianapolis. Anthony Richardson versus Caleb Williams. Wow, that's going to be an interesting game. Under on completed passes, whatever the line is. Indianapolis 1.5 on the spread, -1.5. Over under is 43.5, and Chicago is even money on the money line. Chicago's defense is good. Mm-hmm. And Anthony Richardson, if you take away those two big, I know you take away plays, right? They happened. You're not supposed to. But if he didn't fucking dime out Alec Pierce twice in game 1, his passing statistics are brutal. That's like 100 yards less. That's 2 completions less. Give me the under 43.5. I predict both of these quarterbacks struggle some more. DeForest Buckner going in IR for the Colts is kind of a bummer, though.
Yeah, I'm going Bears money line. I think they feel like they're just about there to get that next step with Caleb Williams. Funny enough, you guys have probably seen this stat. The combined age for the starting quarterbacks in this game is at 44. They're both 22 years old. The Utah and I believe it was Oklahoma State game that is coming up on Saturday. They are 49 years old, combined age, 25 and 24.
Both 7th-year seniors.
Dude.
That's Rising keeps getting hurt, man.
Right.
He missed last week's game too.
He does. He's perfect for them. But yeah, I got Bears money line. I'd say +1.5, but I'm already taking the money line. So
I'm taking Chicago money line as well on this one. And just you talked about it. I think Anthony Richardson might be the worst starting quarterback in the NFL.
That's ridiculous.
I think he might be.
That's absolutely not.
Just because Bryce Young's benched doesn't mean he's the worst.
Well, I mean, Bryce Young's gone. He's not a starting NFL quarterback anymore. And nothing about the kid gives me hope except for the fact that he can rush.
Anthony Richardson is better than Trevor Lawrence right now.
We'll see.
Like
this is a personal opinion. I just
Trevor
don't like what I
Lawrence.
see from him.
Trevor Lawrence gets a pass 9 days. All I'm saying is he's not the worst in the league. Trevor Lawrence looks awful, and Doug Peterson is probably going to get fired again.
Damn, it's such a nice guy.
Carolina Panthers travel into Las Vegas. Las Vegas -5 on the spread. Over-under is at 40. Carolina's +190 money line. Dude, I'm going Carolina +5 here. I'm not frisky enough to take the money line though.
Because of the Ginger Rocket.
I just think the team it rallies after a week like this. The coach, Andy Dalton, just needs to hit the open throws that are there. He just throw the rock at a minimum, which is what Bryce Young was not doing. Like, let the ball go. If you get intercepted, you get intercepted. Like, we wasn't even letting the ball go downfield.
So sorry, Jermaine, go ahead.
No. So that's why I'm taking Carolina +5. It's usually a narrative bet whenever something happens during the week. Like Raiders, they fired McDaniels. I was all over it. Antonio Pierce, money line spread. Raiders won that game. You know what I mean? It's like anytime you have that, these are also still professionals, right? They're still professionals. So it's just it's positive energy, and I think Carolina can cover the spread. Also, I don't think Vegas can score enough to. Well, we'll find out. Maybe Brock Bowers and Devontae Adams go fucking crazy. Is that what you got here, parlay?
You literally just took it out of my mouth. I got them for anytime touchdown parlay at +700. I was going to go with Carolina +5. However, this Raiders defense is nasty. I'm not going to take the +5 or any of the line right there, just because, like you said, Jermaine, it's a storyline week, right? Right. The cameras are going to be on Bryce Young sitting on the bench. Andy Dalton's been here, done that plenty of times. He knows how to get a team to the end zone and score. But this Raiders defense is nasty. Max Crosby is nasty. We'll see how that I think you sent it in the group chat today, Jermaine. Panthers are the 5th best, or at least last week they were the 5th best passing protection line.
Yeah, PFF has them as the fifth best pass blocking line in football right now.
Is that for both weeks or just last week?
I thought it was for both weeks, but now that I think about it, that Saints game, they were swinging gate technique. So it had to have been for last week.
Yeah. So I might hit Eric up on the side to look at some Max Crosby sacks as well. But
Mad Max has played 100% of the snaps through 2 weeks.
The dude is a certified psycho.
Next game, Miami travels into Seattle. Seattle's -4.5 on the spread. Over under is 41.5. The money line for Miami is +164. Bro, they're traveling from Miami all the way to Seattle without Jesus. This Skylar Thompson 2+ passing touchdowns.
I will give you another little nugget here. In their last 12 games, Miami is 1-11 against teams with a winning record. Obviously, it's 2 games, but winning record's winning record.
Wow. I think at the end of the year, we're going to look back at the Seattle defense, and they're going to be one of the top 10 defenses. They found an edge rusher with one of their guys. I forget his name right now. That's how shocking it is, because Seattle usually just doesn't have a guy who can rush the quarterback. And then they have that defensive tackle out of Texas, Byron Murphy II. That front is way more stout. They can actually stop the run. They could play their style of football. And the coaching up there, I didn't think Pete Carroll deserved to get axed, but I mean, them boys right now, they coaching up some 2 good sides of football. I mean, we're not shocked with Mike McDonald. We saw him do it with the Ravens. So, but this offense for the Seahawks looks pretty good, even without Ken Walker. Give me Seattle -4.5. I'll stay away from the over/under. I think the under hits though.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel, he's not nice to inexperienced quarterbacks. So just put it that way. Blitzes from different angles, different people coming, fronts changing at the snap. I don't know if Skylar Thompson's ready for that. And they just brought in, oh God, who'd they sign?
Tyler Huntley.
Yes. I can't say Huntley makes you feel any more comfortable. Granted, he probably won't even start, but
he's for sure not starting this week unless Skylar Thompson gets, I almost said concussed. That's in bad taste. That's in bad taste. Dude, I think that's what my brain subconsciously was just like.
I'm going to take Seahawks -4.5 as well. And I will go with, do I do it?
Do it.
I'll go over 41.5.
Shocking. Let's get into the next game. San Francisco travels into LA to take on the Rams. The Rams are +7 on the spread. The over-under is 44.5, and the Rams are +275 on the line. Part of me just wants to go Rams +7 because there's no fucking way in hell, right? Right, Eric? You want to go through those entries again?
Just too many.
We have
limited time left on the podcast.
Fucking give me Rams +7, Eric.
I took San Francisco at that -7 happily.
I am not saying you should bet Rams +7. I'm just saying in our head, every single one of us is saying no fucking chance.
Oh, and to circle back to what you're saying, since we're talking about the 49ers and the Rams game, I wouldn't be surprised if Seattle wins that division.
Arizona.
I know that's your pick on me.
No, I need you to get on board. Get on board.
Seattle looks crazy good on both sides.
Seattle, Geno Smith. See, here's the thing. Geno Smith was good last year. He just didn't have the counting stats. So everyone's just like, Geno sucks. Seattle needs a quarterback. And now, Geno Smith's fucking balling out. Zach Charbonnet, not good, but can at least fill the role until Ken Walker gets back. They got 3 really good wide receivers. And the offensive coordinator, I forget his name, that jumped from Washington, and he brought that 3-wide set. They're well coached on both sides of the ball. Ryan, what?
Grubb.
Ryan Grubb. Yeah, Ryan Grubb. Nevada, any thoughts on 49ers Rams?
I really want to stay away from the whole thing. I feel pretty confident the Niners win this game. They need a bounce back after the Minnesota game, and then the Rams, man, the poor Rams. They lost their offense. I'm sure McVay will find some guys here and there, but I don't know how you replace Puka and Cup at the same time. That's tough. So
yeah,
I'm gonna
49ers lost CMC and Debo though.
Right. I guess
that's less detrimental to the team's success than it is for the Rams, in my opinion.
All right. Well, then I'll lay on the defensive side. I trust the San Fran defense a little bit more than I do the Rams at this point. But regardless, I'm staying away from this game
altogether. All right. Look, if San Francisco covers the -7, look, it is the favorite for a reason. If San Francisco covers it, it's a beatdown. And San Francisco basically hits the over by themselves. So if you believe that they hit the -7, I would recommend taking the over 44.5.
Correct.
Let's move it to Detroit versus Arizona. Detroit travels into Arizona. Arizona is +3 on the spread. Over-under is 51.5, and Arizona is +130 on the line. That's a high over-under.
Yeah.
Jared Goff looks terrible.
I'll just start. I want nothing to do with this game. I don't know how to read either team right now.
Under 51.5, Arizona +3, and Arizona money line for me.
You said the under?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Jermaine. That over-under is far too high. I think the bet I'll go with is pass touchdowns. I'm going to go with Kyler Murray 2+ passing touchdowns at plus 105. Call of Duty has not come out yet, so he's still good for the next few weeks. I think he tries to keep the momentum going with Marvin. But I think that's going to be a fantastic game.
Jared Goff threw the ball 55 times last week, and they scored 16 points.
Ugh.
You cannot do that again. You cannot do that again. Let's go to the next one. Baltimore Ravens travel into the Dallas Cowboys. Baltimore is -1 on the spread. The over-under is 48.5, and Dallas is -102 on the line. Both teams coming off a loss. Give me the under 48.5. I would much prefer it if it was 49.5 when I took it from the Bozo parlay. But I think Dallas wins this game. I will not take that bet, though.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this one either. Both coming off disappointing losses in different ways. I think this will probably be the national game of the week, although I would have loved to see that Detroit-Arizona game. Yeah, I'm going to stay away from this one for now. I could see Baltimore coming out in a fit of terror, but Dallas is also pretty good, with the exception of last week. So I'm going to abstain from this one.
I can't in good conscience bet with the fact that Baltimore is going to go 0-3. You know what I mean? Like that's the only reason I'm abstaining. And based on how the Saints ran the football, I don't want to keep saying this. Maybe Derrick Henry is washed, but Derrick Henry should be able to do that. That's what I'll say. Eric, you got any biases to perpetuate?
I actually picked Dallas money line on this one. I think Dallas has actually had a game where they looked good, as where Baltimore hasn't. Also, Dallas had won something stupid like 14 home games in a row up until New Orleans 16 games in a row. I don't really see them making it back-to-back home game losses. I just had to make sure they were at home. I don't see them making it back-to-back home game losses with the talent on that roster. And this will be a get-right game for that Dallas defense.
It's an easy offense to cover.
Yeah, it won't be as intricate, and we won't.
I don't think Baltimore has looked bad. They almost beat the Chiefs. I mean, if it wasn't for Isaiah Likely's toe, and then they had a 10-point lead in the fourth, but they blew both games. So
the Chiefs would be 0-2 if it was not for the Kevin Durant rule for the Ravens game, and if it wasn't for the NFL giving Patrick Mahomes his league-leading 17th interception overturned by a penalty call. Fucking bullshit, dude. Since he's been in the league, I should say.
Kansas City travels into Atlanta on that note. Nevada, you gave your thoughts on the Baltimore-Dallas game?
Yeah.
Okay. Kansas City travels into Atlanta. Kansas City is -3.5 on the spread. The over-under is 46.5, and the Falcons are plus 145 on the line. Like I said, 151 yards of passing from Mahomes last week. Travis Kelce either looks uninspired, washed, looks like he just got $100 million for a podcast. You know what I mean? Like,
looks like he got a ball and chain.
He's blocking more than ever. I think Atlanta money line is a fun bet here. Kirk Cousins back-to-back weeks in prime time takes down recently NFC champions, Philadelphia Eagles, and takes down reigning Super Bowl champions. So yeah, let's get fucking frisky with it. I'll take Atlanta Falcons plus 145 to continue the trend of the NFC South shutting idiots up.
Sorry, go ahead, Eric.
No, I was just gonna laugh. It's funny he says shutting idiots up, but two of the biggest idiots that hate that talk shit against the NFC South are on this podcast.
We had 2 9-8 teams last year, and they still act like it's just this god awful division.
No, it's not that.
I'm like, come on, guys. We had 2 9-8 teams. Yeah. We had an NFC South team win a playoff game last year, but the NFC South is still not good.
It's not the AFC West.
Yeah, the quad annual Tony Gonzalez Bowl. I don't know if that'd be the right term for it. Every 4 years, Tony Gonzalez Bowl. God, I hate the Chiefs so much. I don't even want to pick them, but I know how this is going to play out.
The rest.
Fuck. I'll go over 46.5.
Losing Pacheco and they're going over.
Well,
45.
They haven't lost. They haven't lost the most important person on the team. I agree.
Andy Reid's cheeseburger guy.
Yeah, I agree. Pacheco's a big loss. I don't know if it's big enough to warrant losing or winning and losing games. But yes, it is. It is a significant loss.
He was the engine of that offense. I'm fascinated. That's why it's awesome that it's Sunday night. I will say it's awesome because we all get to watch that offense and see what the fuck they're going to do now.
Yes. I'm going to say I don't think you can bet it, but I will say I think this the final score comes down to a 54-yard field goal, one way or the other.
Young Ho?
You got Young Ho and Harrison Butker, two of the best kickers in the entire league.
Yeah, I love that Young Ho.
So then you want to take Atlanta plus 3.5 with that theory?
Well, maybe unless you
because it'll cover the 3, it'll cover the plus, and then it'll cover the win. You want to take that?
Sure, why not?
Right.
Yeah, welcome to the dark side, Nevada. Oh, man. All right, let's wrap up the last two games with the Monday night slate doubleheader. The Jacksonville Jaguars travel into Buffalo to take on the Bills. Hopefully it's not as windy as that week 1 game with Arizona versus Buffalo. Buffalo's -5 on the spread. Over-under is 45.5, and Jacksonville's plus 190 on the line. Fade Jacksonville until otherwise noticed. Buffalo is well coached. Don't know why I ever doubted them. I apologize. Give me Buffalo -5. Give me the over 45.5. Give me my Buffalo money line. No, I'm just kidding. There's no juice there. Give me a double anytime touchdown parlay. We can get the odds later. I don't have it. I wasn't prepared like Nevada, but I love James Cook and Josh Allen to score here. Both.
Anytime you said?
Anytime.
James Cook and who's the other one? Oh, Josh Allen. 350.
Here's another fun one. Josh Allen 2+ passing touchdowns and Josh Allen 2+ sacks. Nah, dude.
2+ touchdowns for Josh Allen would be even money.
Ooh.
3+.
Go ahead.
3+ is 425.
3+ passing or 3+
passing?
Passing. Oh, he's got to throw them all to James Cook. Nah, I'm good on those. Go ahead, Eric Gordon, Nevada. Whoever wants the next shot.
Nevada.
I think maybe because Buffalo played on Thursday night and killed Tua, but Buffalo might be the most overlooked 2-0 team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, New Orleans is getting a lot of attention, as they should, with all the points they've put up. Kansas City, because they're Kansas City. Seattle, granted, they're kind of squeaking by here and there. But Buffalo, so far, they are putting teams away, and they're doing it well. So I got, let's see what the line goes.
I mean, they had to come back to beat Arizona, though, in Buffalo.
I get that. But
it was weird, though. Once they came back, it was like I don't know, they just looked different in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, adjustments. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I am going -5 with Buffalo, and I'm going over 45.5.
Yeah, I like the over. I like both those bets. That's what I took.
Yep.
I'm staying away. I just think it's funny that after Derrick Henry went to Baltimore, everybody was like, "Oh, the Baltimore Ravens have the best 1-2 rushing combo." If it's not Jalen and Saquon, it's definitely these boys up in Buffalo, dude. They look fucking phenomenal together.
Dude, what are you talking about? It's Alvin Kamara and Derek Carr, dude. I mean, Alvin Kamara's doing all the work.
Oh, wait, Derek Carr doesn't run? What the fuck?
Derek Carr has a rushing touchdown.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just talking shit.
That's like one of my favorite stats is they're like the Gretzky brothers. Like, yeah, the Gretzky brothers are the highest scoring brothers of all time. Like his brother had like 9 points in his career, but he contributed 9 points.
There you go, motherfuckers. Finally, the last game of the slate is the Washington Commanders traveling into Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. Bengals are -7.5 on the spread. Over/under is 47, even, and the line for the Commanders is +280. Bro, give me Washington +7.5.
Yep.
And look, this is one thing that I will say: Monday Night Football, prime time. In this case, there's 2 games, but you're like the only game on. They build up the whole production around you and your team. You get interviewed. Joe Burrow's built for that. He has the swag for it. He has the personality. So covering this -7.5, I can see them doing. But until proven otherwise, it's heavy fade. You tell me that Cincinnati wins by 8 points. They're 0-2 right now. No, thank you. Cincinnati wins this football game.
But it's week 3 Cincinnati.
Cincinnati wins this football game, but by 8 points? No, I don't think so. Everyone's downplaying how significant Joe Mixon was because they wanted to get rid of Joe Mixon for 3 years. I don't know why. I don't know why. Last year, Jake Browning and him had that team competing, and they almost got a playoff spot despite all the injuries. So I like over 47 as well. So that'll be my last bet, and then you guys can take it over.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jermaine. That 7.5 is too big for Cincinnati for what they've shown us. If this was week 7, 8, yeah, maybe so. Maybe this would be an appropriate spread, but week 3, where Cincinnati has shown us diddly squat, I'm unimpressed so far from what I can tell. The leading rusher through 2 weeks for the Bengals is Zach Moss. Would you like to guess how many yards he has?
Ooh, I do. He has 63.
47.
He has 78 yards.
Damn, that's too low.
That's on the flip side,
78 in 2 games.
Yeah, Brian Robinson obviously is the leader in the clubhouse. Would you like to guess how many yards he has on the season?
He went bananas last week.
281.
A little too bananas there, Eric.
Oh, damn.
He is at 173, averaging 6 yards a carry.
My man had that. I was like, oh, he knew that stat. He said it so quick.
Yeah, he did.
Motherfucker was running. I was like, all right, 200.
Well, 281 means he's averaging 140.5 yards per game. We would be talking about that, man, if he was averaging that.
I will say.
In fact, I do know because we weren't talking about that.
I will say, I think, ironically, this is kind of a get-right game for both teams. I think Jaden Daniels, who, in my eyes, he's been best rookie quarterback playing so far. Absolutely. He's showing a lot of promise there. I think he'll probably get a couple tutties. I also think it's probably, if there's not this game, I don't know if there's another one for him. This is the game Jamar Chase can start to get going.
Oh, he's going to be the squeakiest of wheels.
Yep. Emmanuel Forbes is questionable with a thumb, which even as a corner, you can still play with a thumb, but still. Yeah, so I agree with you, Jermaine. Cincinnati wins. They have to win this game, which is weird saying that in week 3, but
Cincinnati and Baltimore have to win this week.
Yeah, because they still got to play in their own division. They haven't played any divisional games.
And son of a bitch.
Yeah, they're at best you might walk out of the division at 500.
And Cleveland's a son of a bitch. You got to win these. You got to win these 2 games. And it'd be crazy to see a Dallas, Baltimore, Cincinnati all 1-2. I would just not know how to wrap my head around it. It'd be fantastic because I don't think Dallas makes the playoffs this year. But still a lot of football left.
McCarthy gets canned. Dion comes in.
I'm telling you,
it's coming.
Mike Zimmer.
I hope it happens.
Mike Zimmer running a 20-year-old defense. I mean, New Orleans no disrespect, but we're not like I mean, now maybe we have a crazy offense, but who do you fear on New Orleans' offense? Kamara, and that's it? Shaheed now. Shaheed for MVP,
He's a fucking animal.
Shaheed for MVP, dog.
On my bench both weeks.
All right, final thoughts, week 3.
I think we start to see teams settle in.
Favorite team to go 3-0 this week?
Buffalo.
New Orleans.
This motherfucker. Oh, shit. Favorite team to go 0-3 this week?
Broncos.
Carolina.
Broncos, that's a good one. Carolina.
I mean,
My initial thought was Carolina, but again, that Andy Dalton, you get a little bit of magic. People around him will be like, all right, we're not playing with Bryce. We got a quarterback we know can play in this league. Now we can start taking steps and start walking until Bryce comes back.
There's so many good choices for that
Chicago
0-3.
too.
There's so many good choices for that 0-3 bet. Nevada, since you took the Bills to go 3-0, I'll take the Jaguars to go 0-3.
Yeah.
Dougie P, that seat's heating up, big fella.
Oh, yeah.
How angry do you think? Well, I guess you're not really angry because you can't predict it. But a little sadness for Dolphins and who's the other team with the fucked up quarterback? Oh, Pittsburgh. When they saw that Dak deal go through, how sad do you think those fans were? Because those are two teams that I think they're one Dak away from winning a Super Bowl.
Dak with Pittsburgh.
Dak with
Pittsburgh.
Games.
I think they win the AFC. Yeah, 15 games.
Yeah.
We're saying the same thing. You just had a ridiculous number. It's not 15.
With TJ Watt?
It's not 15. You're guaranteed to lose 2 divisional games, and then you lose one of the other one. Like 15's a lot, big fella. 15's a lot.
14.
Pulled his leg, ladies and gentlemen.
I guess lucky for Miami. This got a pretty solid QB class again in the draft. Probably won't be in the top 3, I would imagine, for Miami, but they should still be able to get a Shador. I think Ewers and Beck will probably go before they'll get to him.
So your Tua's done to you.
I think he should be done. Obviously from his perspective, probably not. From the team's perspective, probably not. But
to elaborate on that, on my take on this, I believe he comes back for sure. I think he gets one more concussion and then his family doesn't let him come back. I think he'll get one more concussion in the NFL. It'll be real bad.
His girlfriend's not going to let him do what he wants.
I got nothing.
I think, and this may be totally out of left field. If Roscoe, shut up. God damn it.
God damn it, Roscoe.
Roscoe.
That's the most Southern, that sounded like it was straight out of King of the Hill. Shout out. Great show, dude. Did you know Japan is super into King of the Hill?
No. That makes sense. They love everything anime. And
they watch it English with
dubbed?
English. Well, it's not English dubbed because it was an English, Eric.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, I guess it still applies. English dub still applies, but I don't know what you call the original one. But anyways,
I'd love to see Boomhauer dubbed in Japanese.
So apparently, Boomhauer dubbed in Japanese. You know what he's saying because they put the captions.
Okay.
So instead of him just being a rambling what was he, CIA agent, or is he a Texas Ranger? What was Boomhauer? Some sort of agent. He was a federal agent. I don't remember what it was for, but
real quick, going back to Tua, I'll just throw this out here. I just crossed my mind. Would the NFL be right or wrong, and maybe gain or lose brownie points if they stepped in and said, Tua, we can't have you keep doing this. We've seen the concussions. You're trying to battle the PR front for being the concussion. Hey, we're being mindful of concussions. You have a dude who's legit. We've had 6 concussions. What's the dude in what's the movie where he's like one more concussion away and
Show me the money? Not show me the money.
no, it was
Any Given Sunday.
Yeah, the quarterback, Dennis Quaid, right? If he gets another quick, that was his back. Hold on.
Replacements.
It was also in the no, it's the spoof movie. Was it not another teen movie or something like that?
Oh, was it? Oh, you're talking about the one where Ali Larder comes out with the whipped cream?
Yeah.
Friday Night Lights? No.
I think it was
Varsity Blues. Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues. Thank you.
Damn. Yeah.
But there's a line in there where he's like, if he gets one more concussion, like he's, I don't know, like a vegetable or is brain dead or something like that. And he gets one more concussion in the championship game and just like lays on the field. That's Tua. So do you think, would it be smart from a PR move for the NFL to step in and say, listen, bud, like we've got too many documented concussions on our fields where you cannot come back?
I think that would be an aggressive first step. I think their first step should be you're going to wear this helmet, this protective helmet, and if you don't and you get another concussion, then we're gonna do what we have to do to protect the image and you and your family and your brain. But make him wear that helmet. Make him do it. Like we're giving players the option. You're 5'7" and you keep dying on the field. Put the helmet on. If it works, you'll play the rest of your career perfectly. If it doesn't, you'll have to walk away from the game of football. We're not gonna let you die on a field over greed. Like we'll figure it out. But they shouldn't just kick. I think they should do the helmet thing first before they try any other major action against him.
All right.
I think it's a lose-lose no matter what for the NFL. How can they take this man's livelihood away? Blah blah blah. It's a gross overreach of the shield. That's a Miami Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa decision. So the NFL can just tell any NFL player that they can't play anymore. It's a lose-lose. It's a lose-lose. It's an impossible situation. You got to let Tua and the Dolphins handle it, and then.
How do you feel about the helmet thing though? Like where they step?
Everyone should absolutely wear those fucking helmets. They look dumb, but the helmets don't look that cool, anyways.
Yeah, I agree. It could definitely be a lose-lose, but I mean, if you're playing this PR stunt of concussion stuff for the last decade, this is like the prime example of do you nut up and do something to protect your guys or force them, or are you just gonna let them keep getting concussed and I don't know, have a seat? I mean, who knows? Maybe if he gets another concussion, the next thing he has is a seizure. Could you imagine that on live TV? Him down on the ground having a season out?
They would love it, dude. They would just replay that bitch over and over again.
This is the moment where DeMar died.
Amazon put together a montage of all his concussions. Amazon, the fuck are we doing?
Like this.
What are we doing? Like you put together all his concussions into a montage video package?
God, that's cold.
How tone deaf do you have to be? Like that's crazy. But we're running a little long here. You guys got anything else?
Nada.
All right. For the 10 to 10s, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, or the artist now known as X, and YouTube at Podcast Room 303. Follow our sister pod, Revenge of the Pod, on all things socials and where you get your podcasts. And for myself, Jermaine Colon Mendez, for my co-hosts, and for the executive producers, the PE and Nutty Putty. We'll see you next week when you come on down and step into the room.